What is up, my butter biscuits? In today's video, we're going to be talking about Estee Lauder purchasing Tom Ford. Y'all, I just can't believe that, like, I know Estee Lauder owns so many brands, but I can't believe that they, like, still have this amount of money. They are going to be purchasing Tom Ford for $2.8 billion, which is going to be their biggest purchase in history. Y'all know, like, a few years ago, they purchased Too Faced, I want to say for, like, 1 point something billion dollars, and that was a whole lot. And I'm just kind of, like, tripped out that they are just really, they're purchasing everything. I feel like at this point, it's going to be like a monopoly because they're just going to order. They're just going to own literally everything. Honestly, I'm going to read this article from the New York Times within today's video, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I did not read it before this video, only because I kind of wanted to, like, I don't know, a lot of times when I'm like reading things or like doing videos about things, I kind of like talking about it in real time, so that way it's my like first initial reaction and my first initial thoughts and opinions about it. Do you know what I mean? If that makes any type of sense. I know a lot of other people like do their full like research before, but I've always like viewed me doing commentary as kind of like talking to friends and just reading it as I'm like reading it out to a friend. Do you know what I'm saying? Like then and there in the moment. Some things obviously I will do a little bit of research on if it's a little bit more of an in-depth type of thing, but this right here is just like beauty news. So I want to say I don't even know if they're going to be purchasing like all of Tom Ford or just Tom Ford Beauty, or if they're going to be purchasing like Tom Ford Beauty and fragrance, or just like the whole like fashion empire as a whole. Because y'all, I feel like for this price they probably have to be purchasing like everything, because I just can't imagine Tom Ford Beauty and fragrance being worth $2.8 billion. Like, I know they are obviously successful as a high-end makeup brand, but not that much, y'all. Not too many people can afford Tom Ford. Do you know what I mean? Like, y'all, I've said it time and time again, I really wanted to purchase the Traceless Matte Foundation. I still haven't purchased it because it's like 90 something dollars. My friend purchased it for her wedding and I used it on her. I did her wedding makeup and I was like, this foundation is bomb. And I borrowed some from her and I wore it just one time and I was like, oh, it was honestly probably like one of the most beautiful foundations on me. Like, I was like, I am obsessed with this, but I just didn't have it in me to spend that much money on the foundation. Like, if there was at any given time that it was going to go on sale for like 40% off, then I would splurge and get it. But even with the 20% off, I was like, this is still too much, y'all. Because I really tripped over purchasing the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And that one was $65, but then I purchased it with 20% off and I was still tripping over that. So like, Tom Ford's just really, really expensive. So anyways, we're going to be purchasing. What is up with me today? Literally, y'all, oh my gosh, I took this like green tea pill and I feel like my brain is all over the place because it like gave me a boost of energy. So I'm like, blah, blah, blah. We are going to be talking about Estee Lauder purchasing Tom Ford is what I meant to say, y'all. I do apologize in this video if I like mess up and stutter a lot, because y'all, that pill, I'm like, oh my gosh, I decided to like, because I'm on this like little weight loss journey, I decided to take this little green tea pill or whatever, but then I'm also so stupid because I drank a Celsius too. So I drank a Celsius and then I took this green tea pill and I'm all looking at it and it says on a Celsius like, don't drink like 2 a day, just only have 1. And then that pill is kind of like the pill is kind of like the same ingredient as a Celsius. So I'm like, oh, no wonder why. This makes a lot of sense. So anyways, I apologize if I'm all over the place within today's video. Make sure you guys get this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys head over to my second channel. It is linked down below. I have new videos every single Sunday there with my brother. That's my travel channel with my brother. And we have so many exciting videos coming up, y'all. Like, I'm really excited. So make sure you guys head over there and support that channel as well, too. I would really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get into it. I picked a really bad day to be reading this much because I can just already feel it, that my reading skills are not going to be the greatest within today's video. But you know what? We got to roll with it. And this is what it says on New York Times right here. Estee Lauder agrees to buy Tom Ford brand in $2.8 billion deal. Tom Ford's high-end fragrance routinely making bestseller list, and the deal, the luxury industry's biggest this year, also brings apparel to Estee Lauder, which had been strictly focused on beauty. Okay, I like how that's literally in the top first opening statement. Duh. So basically, they're going to be purchasing all of Tom Ford. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, I just really don't know too much about Tom Ford in general. Like, I feel like Tom Ford is a very, very luxurious brand and expensive, but I really only know like the big time labeled ones like Gucci and like Chanel and Louis Vuitton. You know what I mean? Tom Ford, to me, I've smelled some of their colognes before, and there was like this one that I really wanted to buy called Ombre Leather for the longest period of time. But that cologne, if you guys have smelled that cologne before, it smells disgusting at first. It's so weird. I had my friend Liz smell it because I was like, girl, like, check out this cologne. And I said, just give it like 30 minutes because when you first spray it, it's like you straight up smell like leather, like straight up leather, like from a new car. And then like 30 minutes, maybe an hour down the road, it just starts smelling bomb. Like, it just smells like a rich man. It smells like wealth. It smells like sugar daddy. Do you know what I mean? And I've been thinking about buying that for the longest period of time, but then I was like, it's like really, it would probably be like one of the most masculine scents that I have. And I feel like the scents that I have are a little bit more on the like fresh, clean type of side. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the Louis Vuitton Sur La Route fragrance is like the most masculine one I have, and that's not saying very much because it's not that masculine. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always like, I know about Tom Ford fragrance, but I don't know if like I don't know how I feel about it basically. Anyways, moving forward. Oh, but I will say this, by the way, though. Those fragrances are really expensive. Y'all, I spent $280 on a Louis Vuitton fragrance, but only because you can get a refill for $160. So to me, I was like, oh, okay, that's good because I pay like $140 for my regular like YSL. Do you know what I mean? It's only $20 more. But Tom Ford, you don't get no refills and the bottle's like $200. So I'm like, ooh. Anyway, so this is what it says right here. Continuing on, there I go just rambling about nonsense as usual. Sorry, guys. Anyways, Tom Ford designer, film director, art collector, and fashion world provocateur can now add one more accolade to his list, billionaire. On Tuesday, I'm surprised. Wait. He's not a billionaire already? I would feel like he'd be a billionaire. Anyways, on Tuesday, Estee Lauder announced it had agreed to buy his company in a deal that totaled $2.8 billion. The deal is the largest in the luxury industry this year and is a testament to the enduring power of perfume. It comes as high-end brands are looking for new avenues for growth as business in China, once the engine for luxury beauty businesses, has become more difficult amid pandemic restrictions. Also, I feel like that's so crazy that things are still going on with that, being that a lot of people do outsource to China for a lot of their products or at least components, you know what I mean? Anyways, Mr. Ford, 61, will stay on with the brand through the end of 2023, though his role beyond that is not yet clear. I do want to say this, though, like when they purchased Too Faced, I feel like they should have immediately just got rid of Jared Blandino. I'm so sorry. Obviously, he did a really good job with Too Faced, but then there comes a point in time to where the brand just gets stale, it gets stagnant, it gets boring, it gets dull, and I feel like it hit that point with Too Faced years ago, and I feel like when they purchased that, they should have not left him on as creative director. Like I said, I don't know too much about Tom Ford like I do with Too Faced, but I feel like if you're going to be purchasing the brand from them, it needs to take a different direction. It needs to look towards the future, look towards something a little bit different rather than what it's going with right now. You know what I mean? Because obviously a brand can only be successful for such a period of time of doing the same repetitive thing. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, saying he could not be happier, Mr. Ford added of Estee Lauder in a statement, "They have been an extraordinary partner from the first day of my creation of the company, and I am thrilled to see them become the luxury stewards in the next chapter of Tom Ford brand. The acquisition was driven by the strength of Tom Ford's beauty business, which includes fragrance, cosmetics, and skincare." Didn't even know they had skincare. "And for which Estee Lauder has had a long-standing licensing agreement. The Tom Ford high-end scents, which include Black Orchid and Tuscan leather, retail for more than $100 and routinely make the bestsellers list." I feel like it's way more than $100. Like maybe for like the travel size version for, because I'm like, the bottle that I looked at, I want to say it was close to $200. Anyways, the deal also brings apparel to Estee Lauder, which had been strictly focused on beauty, with a portfolio of brands that include La Mer, Bobbi Brown, and Clinique. Y'all, and the list goes on. They own Smashbox, MAC, now Too Faced. You know what I mean? They just own everything. Anyways, we are incredibly proud of the success of Tom Ford Beauty has achieved in luxury fragrance and makeup, and its dedication to creating desirable, high-quality products for y'all. A lot of these words, I can't keep up with like rich people's vocabulary, honestly. Discerning consumers around the world, Fabrizio Freda, the chief executive officer of Estee Lauder, said. He added the deal would further his company's growth in luxury beauty for the long term. Estee Lauder, which will pay $2.3 billion, will finance the deal through a combination of cash, debt, and $300 million in deferred payments. Marcolin, the Italian group that owns the license for Tom Ford eyewear, will pay $250 million to Estee Lauder when the deal closes. Estee Lauder reported this month that the sales in Asia fell because of its region's strict pandemic policies. Lower growth in China also forced Estee Lauder to reduce its financial forecast for next year. Shares of the company are down about 40% this year. It's so crazy. So like if everything's down, like how do they have the money to like get this? You know what I mean? Like $2.3 billion. Like, damn, they must still be doing well. I really do feel like the pandemic changed the beauty industry, honestly. I feel like a lot of people were like, you know what? I don't really need to wear that much makeup. I don't need to purchase that much new makeup, you know? Perfumes have become a focus for Estee Lauder, particularly as the premium fragrance industry saw an unexpected bump during the pandemic, with shoppers seeking out small luxuries. Estee Lauder's recent perfume acquisitions include the brands, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Frederic Mallet, Kilian, and Le Labo. I've heard of Le Labo before. Oh my God, there's one scent from Labo that I want, which is like, I want to say it was like $500, y'all. I was like, oh, no, no, ma'am. While hundreds of fragrances are released every year, a hit such as Chanel No. 5 or Mugler's Angel can be the engine of a brand's finances, thanks to the high profit margins associated with the scent, whose appeal is not season specific. Then I wonder how much money like YSL makes then, because I know so many people that love the Y by YSL scent. I talked about it recently within my Sephora haul video. Y'all, I love that scent. And so many other people do too. And a lot of women like it on their men too. And there's actually a lot of women out there that wear it too. So I'm like, I feel like that scent right there is just like, it's low-key iconic. So I wonder how much they made off of that, you know? And especially because it is a little bit pricey too. One of the surprise categories of the growth for us during the pandemic was fragrance. Tracy Thomas Travis, Estee Lauder's chief financial officer, told Analysis in June. It represented a self-pampering opportunity for people. Shoppers became more willing to buy fragrance online. I don't know about that, y'all. I just have to say that has been one of my biggest things. I just talked about that in my Sephora video as well too. I can't purchase fragrance online because 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna have to go and return it, and I hate doing returns. So I don't want to have to go through that, you know. Anyways, Miss Travis said, and such sales growth has continued even as life in North America and Western Europe has returned more to normal. Estee Lauder said that Tom Ford's net sales had grown nearly 25% in its most recent fiscal year, which ended in June from the year earlier. I do want to add on to this. I do find it a little bit ironic that I guess myself, I did get into fragrance a little bit more during the pandemic, and I just really didn't even think about it, y'all. I literally started a fragrance collection. Before, I used to just wear like Gucci Guilty Black and Y by YSL, and I have like Chanel Blue, but then now I have like 10 fragrances. I literally like upped my game. I don't know why all of a sudden I just really got into fragrance. So crazy. So I feel like, oh my God, did it like subconsciously come to me in the pandemic of like, well, you know what, I can't really do my makeup because the mask is gonna rip it off, so let me like smell good. Maybe I didn't really even think about that. Anyways, other beauty companies like Clarins and Procter & Gamble have in the past acquired fashion businesses such as Mugler and Roches, I don't know, to leverage their fragrances, but struggled with the challenge of the apparel industry. Estee Lauder, however, will license Tom Ford's fashion to a third party. I do not know how to pronounce this name. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna try it though. Immergildo? No, I don't know, y'all. Let me not, because that's too close to dildo. So let me not say that. Zegna, the Italian group, Marcolin, which has also held the license for Tom Ford eyewear since 2005, will continue to do so. Zegna, with a license to produce and distribute Tom Ford's menswear since 2006, will now become Estee Lauder's sole licensee for Tom Ford men's and women's wear, as well as accessories, jewelry, children's wear, and homewares, with responsibilities for its stores and shows, and for ensuring the brand remains a luxury product and continues to cast the sort of runway associated halo that sells beauty products. Though a relatively small part of the brand's portfolio, the brand's fashion collections still receive outsized attention thanks to Mr. Ford's name, reputation, and celebrity connections. He always dresses a host of bold-faced names on Oscar night. Oh yeah, I have heard that before, y'all. I feel like, oh my gosh, a lot of people wear Tom Ford then. Y'all, sorry, I literally had to like cut a chunk off of this because I started reading and then I was like, y'all, they're literally just going into like all these other different types of things. And I was like, that literally has nothing to do with the beauty realm of it or the purchasing of it or like the status of Tom Ford. You know what I mean? Which I obviously wanted to talk about within today's video. So if you guys are interested in reading the full article, there's about 6 more paragraphs on the NewYorkTimes.com. If you want to head over there and read that. I was like reading it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just cut this part off the video because it's just a whole bunch of, I don't know, it just starts going into like listing all this and like, different designers and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's like completely going off topic of Estee Lauder actually purchasing Tom Ford. But that is it for the purchase of Tom Ford. I really am curious to see where the brand is going to go. I honestly feel like in order for Estee Lauder to have to like make their money back and to actually like, I don't know, really prosper, they're going to need to do things a little bit different. And honestly, I know that obviously Tom Ford it's a luxury brand. I know it's an expensive brand, but y'all, if they were to just lower the prices a little bit more so that way they're a little bit more obtainable, I feel like they would end up making more money in the long run, because I do feel like you can have a high-end luxury brand out there but still have decent pricing. Tom Ford stuff just goes into the like super expensive, because I'm sorry, but a foundation that's costing that much, they also have a foundation I think that costs like $140. It's just like, it's way too much. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like, wouldn't you rather sell, let's say for example, 100,000 foundations at $100 rather than sell, I don't know, 5,000 foundations at oh my gosh 5,000 foundations at $140. Do you know what I mean? I feel like when you lower your price point a little bit, people are like, oh, okay. Or maybe I'm just speaking for myself, I don't know, because honestly I feel like that $90 traceless matte foundation that I want, if it was like $75, I probably would have got it by now. Obviously with a 20% off discount, you know what I mean? But I probably would have got it by now rather than looking at it being so close to $100. But that's just me. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.